What's up, movie lovers? It is J Specs Reviews here, and today I'm continuing my Final Destination series, and this is actually the last one, sadly. But also, I'm kind of glad because this is a very good ending to the franchise. Final Destination 5. So, Final Destination 5 is a 2011 horror movie, and it was directed by, let me see here, Stephen Quayle. Yeah, I got that right. And it stars Nicholas D'Agosto, Emma Bell, Miles Fisher, Arlen Escarvita, David Koechner, I don't know how to say his name, and Tony Todd. And basically, the plot of this movie is the exact same as the other ones, where a person has vision that something bad's going to happen. This time it's a bridge collapsing, and then he saves all of his co-workers because they all work at this office together. And then, yeah. They gotta figure out how to escape death and how to save people, and that's pretty much it. So, in this movie, pretty much, there's not really any backstory again, it's just the fourth one made money, so they were like, hey, let's make another one. But that was the last one, and I'm not gonna spoil how, but they found a very clever way to work their way around it, because Final Destination 4 is still technically the last, but they were still able to make another one. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, the fourth one made a bunch of money, so they made another one. That's pretty much the whole backstory. There was one thing that I thought was cool. One of the rejected deaths for it was a water park death. I'm not sure how it would have worked, but it would have been interesting to see. So, first, the good of this movie is way better than the fourth movie. I'm just going to say that. And better than the third one, I think. The characters are actually really good this time, and they feel like real human beings again. Feel like actual people. They're not stereotypes this time, and they're not just traits, like one-word characters. They all feel real. Like they all have real issues. Like the main character, his main thing. He doesn't. I mean, he's trying to understand what's happening with with the vision and everybody dying. But his main concern is that he has two things in his life. Does he want to go get his dream job, or does he want to stay and live with his girlfriend? And he doesn't know which one to do. And there's another guy. Might be my favorite character, this guy named Peter, because he starts off completely normal guy. He's got a good job, he's got a nice girlfriend, and then his life just completely collapses. Oh, that was a good pun. Hey, because the bridge collapses. I didn't even think about that. But his life is just completely different after the accident and everything, and he just becomes very paranoid. And it's a great portrayal. It's by Miles Fisher is the guy who plays him. He looks like Tom Cruise, and he actually played Tom Cruise in superhero movie. And there's suspense again. Sweet. Isn't that good? They brought back the feeling of the original movie where you thought you knew how somebody was going to die, and then they completely changed it. And that's great. They set up all these everyday objects, and they look really scary, like a bunch of sharp stuff, a bunch of stuff that's flammable. That's usually what it is in these movies, but whatever. As long as I actually feel scared. In this, I was actually cringing at the deaths, and I was actually kind of scared because I had that dark atmosphere again for once. In every scene, you just feel uneasy, kind of. And the premonition this time is, it's amazing. I think it's actually the best one. Now, the second one is great, with the pile-up, but I think the pile-up, even though it's amazing, it is just a bunch of explosions. This has more variety in the way that everybody dies. And the deaths in this movie are amazing. I mean, a couple of them, obviously, once it gets towards the end of the movie, you can't be as suspenseful. Like with a couple of them, they just throw them away quick, but they still look cool and the effects are actually good. It's not all just CGI. Like some of the stuff, it looks like they use actual practical effects. I'm pretty sure they did. I'm not sure. I didn't look that up. I didn't care enough. But yeah, there's good effects for the deaths. And the ending. I gotta talk about the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it. Perfect ending to the series. It ties everything up. You don't need to make a sixth one, but I wouldn't be disappointed if they did. Because I just really love this franchise, except for the one movie, obviously. And now we gotta talk about the bad. I don't really think there's any big issues with this. It's just that the main character's love story, some of it just feels out of place and kind of cheesy, but at the same time, it's used to establish the characters, and there's like some acting from Miles Fisher that is kind of weird. He like, I don't know how to describe it without spoiling it. There's just this one scene where he's just freaking out, and then it's just like, you just look kind of stupid, man. And oh, what was the other issue I had with this movie? I don't think there even was one. Cheesy romance dialogue. That was pretty much it. Yeah, Tony Todd's back. That's cool. I'm just gonna keep talking about all the good stuff. They introduced this new concept, which is really cool, which is pretty much if you kill somebody who wasn't meant to die in the main disaster of the movie, you get their life and you get to live however long they were supposed to. They do some really cool stuff with that. And it adds something new to this franchise, which, ooh, finally. I mean, pretty much except for the fourth one, all the sequels added something new. Because the second movie, it had the only new life can cheat death. This had the killer be killed, and the third movie had the photographs telling you how everybody was gonna die. And yeah, those are little details, but all the movies like feel tonally different. And this movie's actually really funny. There's like a lot of subtle humor. Like this one character who nobody really cares about. Everybody thought he died in the accident in the bridge collapse, but he didn't. And then they mentioned his name during the funeral, and they said, and they're like, "Man, I'm still alive." It was pretty funny. And then the extra sitting right next to them, it has like the perfect reaction. He's like, "Dude, we're at a funeral. Stop laughing." And Tony Todd's amazing. He's in there for like one scene, two scenes, never mind, because he's the one who tells him about the killer be killed. But he is fucking creepy, man. He is amazing. He's just walking down the street whistling, and then he's like, "You all just be careful now." In the ending credits, they got like AC/DC playing over it. It's amazing. And what else about this movie? What was the other good thing? They have so many different subtle nods to the previous movies, and it's great. They're not homaging deaths like the fourth movie did. Hate the fourth movie. Um, but they have really subtle things like one of the survivors has a picture of her and her friend, and it was taken on the roller coaster from the third movie. Really cool stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Final Destination 5 is actually the only one to get a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I forgot to say this, but Final Destination 4 had 29, and this one had 60%. 60% is like right where the fresh line is, though, because it's like 0 to 59 is rotten, and 60 to 100 is fresh. So it barely counts, but it's cool to see one of my favorite horror franchises get a entry that actually has positive reviews. Like I don't think the Friday the 13th, yeah, the Friday the 13th franchise doesn't have a single positive score. The original Friday was pretty close. It was at 58. But we're not talking about Friday the 13th. Overall, Final Destination 5 is a really good sequel that breathes new life, I did another pun, into the franchise with great deaths, great effects, characters you actually care about and are entertaining to watch. It doesn't really have a story like the previous two, but this one is like character driven. It's about how the characters react to the situations. It's not about the deaths. It's about how the different characters react to them, and they all have different reactions. Like some of them don't care, and some of them take it too far. But overall, I think I give Final Destination 5 a 9 out of 10. So, next video, I am going to be doing a ranking of the Final Destination franchise. And look for that tomorrow. Because I don't want to do another video today. I want to keep you guys waiting. I don't want to upload every video right away. Pretty much. So, that's going to be it for today, guys. So, I'll see you soon.